it's not a product. It should be like a feeling that you give someone, you know, and then it becomes something that people experience and don't have to just buy. I mean, it definitely affects me, but like never enough for me to not do it. Yeah. Never enough for me to step away ever. I just really want to like headline Glastonbury. That would be great. Nothing would ever top that for me, you know, nothing.
So hi everyone, I'm Alex Brees, founder of Unheard Music, and welcome to the Find Your Frequency podcast, the podcast where we talk to people who built something from nothing, whether that's artists, founders, investors, all people united by that same obsession of how do you get people to care. And today's guest, Lizzie, I'm actually really excited to have you, Lizzie, because I remember when we first met, and we were talking about this before, 4 or 5 years ago. I think you were just starting out. I was early on in my journey too. And then to sit and watch you from the sidelines play at Radio 1's Big Weekend, Kendall Calling, like Leeds Festival, it's been amazing. So Lizzie, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And, talk to me about that journey, to be honest with you. It's been, and we'll go back to the origin story shortly, but, you know, to kick off, how's it been over the last few years?
Yeah, just busy, good. I think it's just good if you're busy. You know, it's like, I'm happy if I'm busy, really, which is good. So I think I think it's quite lucky that we've stayed really busy as well. Just been keeping going, not stopping, which is good.
And do you get time to sort of, because we had on a guest on a previous podcast, a guy called Chris Herbert who managed like Spice Girls, Five, all these bands from the 90s. And we talked about getting that time to sit and reflect on the successes or enjoy the moments a little bit. And he, you know, like it's fair to say, he sort of regrets not being able to enjoy it when he was in the moment, you know, and he wishes he had done that as he reflects back. Do you get a chance to reflect? Because you're in it. Do you get a chance ever to pull yourself out and go, well done, Lizzie, that's been great?
Not really. I don't know. I don't think I'm very good at that. I think that's probably like, I think it's easy to like not do that. I find it really easy not to do that because you're always looking at the next thing. Yeah. I think it is really important, and I think it'll probably make you just appreciate everything a bit more. But I'm really bad at doing that. I'm really bad at it. Every now and then, like if we do a big festival or some sort of milestone thing, then I'll try and like enjoy my time there. But I think it is also difficult when the higher pressure something is, it also brings a lot of nerves, and to enjoy the moment, sometimes like you enjoy that you've done it and you enjoy it in the moment of performing, but to enjoy the whole thing, it's like, actually I'm really stressed and I'm worried and I'm, I find it hard sometimes in the moment.
Can we talk about the nerves? Because I've had over the last few years like amazing opportunities. You know, I'm very grateful to speak in front of lots of people, or I was on Dragon's Den and, you know, all those sort of things. And it was great. But I think I've struggled at times with like that anxiety or like being incredibly nervous beforehand. And to your point, afterwards, and even like when you're midway through, you're like, yeah, this is great. You settle into it. Have you developed anything that helps you deal with those nerves, or do you think it's maybe just something that is always going to be there and you can use it as a weapon or something to make your performance even better? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I don't tend to get like too nervous before gigs anymore. It really depends. Like, it just depends on the day, depends on the situation, depends on the gig. Like, it really does. It's so up and down, and sometimes I can't even predict it. Like, I think I've learned that the more prepared I am, the better I feel. Like, if I've got my makeup on and I'm dressed and I'm like, everything is like ready to go the way it should be, you know, I've sound checked, I've got my in-ears attached, like, which I do like ages before I need to go on. And I always like hold like a guitar pick as well. Like, I hold on to one so I know I've got one for stage. Like, I'll do this hours before I go on, like if I can. And as long as I've got like everything feels like it's in order, then I just calm down. I'm just like, I've done everything I can do to be prepared. And then I just need to go on and perform just a bit that I love, you know? So I think like there's definitely things I know that I can do to like just make me feel less nervous, which is like just being prepared.
Yeah.
I think if I've got to like run on stage and, you know, I've got a few minutes and I'm not ready, I'm not like actually dressed, I'm not got my makeup on, and we're on in like 20 minutes, I just start like, I can't cope with it. I'm like, no.
And do you think the audience can tell? And the reason I asked that is because I remember watching the documentary about Robbie Williams, I think it was, and he was saying there was a specific performance where he was just like full of anxiety, incredibly nervous. He said it was a terrible performance, but like watching it, you couldn't really. I don't think I could tell as someone who was watching it and maybe wasn't paying loads of attention, but was like watching. And do you think the audience can tell? Like, do you feel like there's a disconnect there when you do have one of those moments where you've just got to throw yourself in?
I don't know. I don't know. I think for me, sometimes, yeah, I think sometimes they can't tell. Just because you can, for me, when I'm watching a show and you can see someone fully just like let go or fully get into it and just like not thinking about anything else, you can just tell. Yeah. Like it just feels like their mind is like nowhere. Yeah. And there's definitely been shows before where I've come off and been upset because I knew like maybe something had happened right before a gig or like, you know, and then I'd gone on stage and I felt like I didn't give it everything. And then even though people probably can't tell, I really get in my head and I think everyone knows. Like, because I do think you'll be able to see when someone's a little bit not fully into it, not fully just giving it their everything. I think even if it's subconscious and you're like, yeah, it was good, but like it didn't blow me away. And then you're like, because they weren't really there. Yeah. You know, that's my biggest fear. It's like, even if they're not conscious of it, just if I'm not fully just thinking of nothing else, it like really annoys me because I'm like, this is the job. Like just don't think about anything else. Yeah. Sometimes like my mind wanders so much when I'm playing a show, like so much. And I'm like, this isn't good. I need to like.
Really? So you stood there performing and you're thinking about what you're going to have for breakfast the next day or something?
Yeah. Do you know what? The most of the time I'm thinking, oh, do I look really into it? Do I not? I like analyze what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And it's like, okay, I'm going to walk over here now. Then I'm going to walk over here. It's just like, I'm like, sometimes I really overthink what I'm doing as I'm doing it when I'm on stage.
That's you.
But then sometimes you completely forget and you just, that's the best moment is like consciously forgetting to think about anything.
You're in the zone.
I don't know. Yeah. Just being like, just don't think about anything else. Just think about, I don't know. For me, it really helps when I'm like, just think about what the song's about. Just think about the words you're saying. Don't think about where you're moving. Don't think about the crowd. Yeah. Just think about the song. Yeah.
There's something about being in the moment which is so powerful, but sometimes actually so hard to get into. Yeah. And, you know, I think that's where, when I get most nervous is when I'm thinking about something else, when I should be thinking about the topic I'm thinking about. You know, and your mind then just goes, doesn't it?
Yeah. I just do it all the time. Yeah. Especially performing, which I shouldn't do.
Can we go back to your origin story? And I'm interested in this because you're an independent artist. I love independent artists. You're from the Northeast. You are like a lead female in a band, you know, and I think it's hard to cut through, like as a female artist. I think there are still barriers out there. And you've done it independently. And so I'm interested in where you've come from that has given you the foundations and the grounding perhaps to have the resilience and the talent and the creativity.
Yeah. I don't really know. I think it's definitely like just something I grew up around. I don't know, like I've always had creativity around me. Yeah, my mum and dad, they're really creative. It was always encouraged. It was always around in the house. It's just something that was always there. It was just like valued, just like doing art is important, you know? It's just, that was always part of my life. Yeah, it's not like a 9 to 5. There's no like hours that you clock off, you know? Any spare time you've got, just do something you love with it, you know? Yeah, I think that sort of like style of life where it's just, you know, take up your time with stuff you really love to do is just like carried on for me. I don't really like spending time doing anything else really. It's all I really wanted to do.
Is that how you, because often when you think about a passion, you perhaps then swing into a place of like losing balance or losing, and I'll talk about it from my experience. It's like Unheard has become my passion, something I invest a lot of time into, and then I lose other parts of my life. You know, like I lose maybe friendships or like relationships or interest in sport or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Does that play on your mind at all, in the sense that you're so in this that you have to sacrifice other things? And then maybe also, when did you realise that this didn't have to be just like a hobby, it could be a full-time thing?
Yeah. I think I always knew it was going to be like my life, because you can just make it your life. Like in a way, not to say that as like a bold statement, but working 0-hour jobs around it, doing whatever you have to do. I'm not saying it's definitely not easy to make a living doing this. It's just not. It's really hard. And hopefully that is going to change, because, you know, it's like I do a lot with the Ivers Academy. I do, you know, I mean, I say I do a lot with them. They do a lot, and I'm there and I look at what they're doing in awe. But hopefully that's going to get easier. But right now it's not easy. So I'm not going to make a bold statement like, you can just do this with your life, because you'll have to probably do other jobs you don't want to do around it. Yeah. But it never put me off. I was like, but I still get to do it, you know? So I think if you really want to do it, I've always just told myself there's going to be a way. Even if I'm working 0-hour jobs, this job to get money here, this job to get money there, to be able to tour, to be able to do this, like, you know, I'm always going to keep up the music. And that's part of the resilience maybe as well, is like, don't let anything put you off, or like a temporary, okay, I'm going to have to pick up other work for money, because music's not going to give me money right now. Yeah. It's just like keeping it as your main priority and focus still. So yeah, I think that's just been something I've always been really like strong on, if you know what I mean. It's definitely not easy at all, because there is just not great money in it. Like there's just, the distribution of wealth in the industry is not fair. It's not that it doesn't make money, it's that it's not going to the right people, really.
100%.
So, you know, I think it's really, I think I'm just quite a dreamer as well, and just like quite in denial a lot of the time, I think, that I'll ever have to do anything else, you know? And I think that just keeps me going. And it's like, for as long as I can keep making this work and I don't have any other responsibilities, I don't have like anybody else to take care of, luckily right now, apart from myself, you know? And if I can keep doing this, I'm just going to keep doing it, you know? So I think it's when something becomes, from being a passion, like something you just love, or for me, it was just something I just like loved to do, you know, when I was really young, before I was a teenager, when I was like a child, like I would write little rhymes and songs and like play piano and learn piano, which was, again, I was lucky to do that. I was encouraged to do it and like able to do it, enabled to do it. So that really helped me, but it became from something that was that, and little songs that I would write. And like, I think my mum and dad could definitely see that. They were like, oh, you definitely, you know, you're doing this a lot. And then as soon as...
good? Did you have a talent for it?
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. No, probably not. But they were just like, sure they were enough of like a song. It was like, that's the chorus, that's the verse, you know, they've got chords on them, like I knew piano. And it was like, I would do it all the time. And eventually I probably did get like better at it. And I think they could really like see that I had this like real interest for it, and I did it all the time. And it was probably like my early teens that I was like, can I record these? Can I do this? Can I do that? And I just was like, I don't remember a time where I was like, I think I'll make this my career. I think I'll make this my life. I think it just like, I don't remember a specific time. There probably was one. I just think it like became that, or just became, it's all I ever thought about. Do you know what I mean? There was no actual doubt in my mind ever that I wasn't going to do it.
I think,
you know?
do you know, I think that's actually an inspiring message because...
I don't know.
And the reason I think that is because you're proof that if you have talent, obviously, and you've got to really throw yourself into it. But if you have that mindset of like, I'm going to make it, I'm just going to keep going until something works and takes off. And by the sounds of it, you're going to make the sacrifices to work the 2-3 like extra jobs that you need to do. You know, it shows that you can do it. Like people can do it. And a lot of people, you know, they lose sight of that it is actually achievable because it's something that so many people want.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it doesn't feel like that, and it will be really hard.
Yeah.
And I still find it so hard, like almost every single day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's maybe a character thing as well. Like I do think I'm really stubborn.
Yeah.
I do think I'm like really, I don't know what the word is. Like
resilient or something, or
maybe I do think like, I know a lot of people say like having a thick skin, having like, you know, being able to like put up with a lot of like rejection or negativity, which is a massive thing. And it definitely affects you. I mean, it definitely affects me, but like never enough for me to not do it. Yeah. Never enough for me to step away ever. So I don't really know what it is, but I think it is that sort of like resilient thing. I think you just got to be like, want it that much to take the negative.
Where does the negativity come from that you experience? Is that like social media? Is it labels rejecting you? Like where does it come from?
I just think like everything, everywhere. Like not in like a just like in no way does anyone need like, least of all me, any like sympathy for it, because it's just the way, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like a tough industry, and it's like, I don't know, tough world, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just sort of everyone's fighting to be heard, I guess, even if they're not in music, you know, the world's trying to sell you something. Like every time you go on your phone, I can't even imagine or to count the amount of adverts I probably see and don't even realize. Like everyone's fighting to just be on your phone when you click on it, or like be on a poster, or be the gig that you go to at the weekend. And it just feels like it's a battle. Like it's really hard. And I feel like rejection or just anything like that is just, it's part of all of that. It's part of like, you weren't chosen this time. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't want to come see your gig. They're going to spend that however much you ticket, like 10 to 50 quid, or, you know, at my stage, probably like 10 to 20 pounds tickets. I don't know. You know, they'll spend it somewhere else. They've gone for a sandwich or, you know, out for tea instead of, you know, money is like scarce and precious, especially these days. So you're also kind of like up against loads of different things for that, you know? You just got to make something that means more to people than, you know, in my opinion, just don't even try and compete with any of that. It's not a product. It should be like a feeling that you give someone, you know? And then it becomes something that people experience and don't have to just buy. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then you're not fighting it, you know? Just don't. I try to just opt out all that. But yeah, so I think like I always stray so far from the question that I forget it, basically.
No, that's okay. I've forgotten it too, to be honest with you. I was just engaged in the conversation.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
But I did have another one.
Go ahead.
Which
I don't know where I'm going.
Which popped into my head whilst you were talking there, because you talked about the attention, like almost like the attention economy, right? Everyone's trying to fight for people's attention. And when I look at your career, if I may, as like an observer from the side, is what I think I've observed is that you've really leaned on your music and your records and live and those almost I don't want to say offline because obviously releasing records is online, but more like traditional music related. I always think about you and Wolf Alice together. I don't know why, that's just this thing I have in my head.
I would love us to be together more often.
And but it feels like you're leaning on the music, you're performing live, and you've gone down that route. Whereas so many artists are trying to go through like the social media route, like the digital route, pure digital. Is that been a conscious decision from you? Does that feel true, first of all? And has it been a conscious decision?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it was necessarily like conscious. It's just something that happened. I think a lot of the theme of all of the things I'm probably going to say is like, it just kind of happened. It just like happened. I do feel like most things have just been quite organic, which is just the way you want it to be, really. The way it, feels nice to do it. So that was definitely it wasn't a strategy to be like, let's just not be online. Do you know what I mean? Because like I am fairly online right now. Like I think I'm more online now and I'm more open to the fact that you need to just kind of do it all. And I'm just having fun with it. It's quite fun. But I do definitely think they're just the things that were most important to me. Yeah. Like having a good live show. It's like, it's all well and good. Like if I had a big moment online or whatever, like something did really well or a song did really well, like on the radio or something more traditional platform, or maybe on streaming, it suddenly did really well. I think, and then someone comes to a live show and it's not very good. Yeah. You just like, or they're not very experienced, you know. It was just really important to me to like get a lot of live experience and get to where we feel like we're good live to come and see, and to be comfortable inviting people to come and see us live. And that we were going to make it worth their time and their money, And
how did those doors open? Because we'll have a lot of artists and managers and record labels listening who, want to go down that route. They want to perform at Kendall Calling or, wherever it's been. So how did you, because you said it happened organically, but and then to challenge you, it feels as if like
maybe not.
It happens organically, in the sense that the doors open, but you've got to have great music. Yeah. You've got to be pushing it forward. You've got to have great content. So, and you've got to be consistent. So there's a lot of boxes to tick for those doors to open, I guess. But how did they open for you?
I think it was that sort of like, I started, it was sort of pre-lockdown. I was doing loads of open mics of just songs that I was writing on my own. And I would play them on my own and with like a keyboard and have like tracks in the background. And I was probably so nervous. It was probably so bad. But it was just like getting something heard and just some kind of minimal experience of like playing a song to someone. And I do feel like that's where it just, once I'd done a few of those, I just got more and more. I did more and more. And then things grow. You get a band, you get a bit more of a team, and then opportunities come around from there. Working with producers, like building up the songs to sound a bit more different. And then BBC introducing was a big thing. And they kind of got on board and they'll see, oh, you've got a bit of a team and you've got a band and you're sort of like, you've been doing gigs. And I think we rehearsed for a long time before I ever did a gig as well with the band. And then we just did, I think because it was out of COVID, we did like a live stream thing, was our first gig, which was like, it was cool. it was kind of weird that I'd still never really played to an actual crowd, because I played to open mics before, which were like people drinking and not really caring what I was doing. And then to a camera on a live stream. And then the next sort of gig we really got, because I had a bit of a team, I had a manager and I had the band. And I think, because I remember my early demos, like way before this, any of that came around, I sent them to BBC Introduced, and it was just a demo I'd made myself.
Yeah.
And they played it. So I think from that, they kind of were like, okay, we'll keep
You're on the radar.
And then we ended up getting some festival slots. And I think we were quite lucky because of working with people and having a producer and having songs that sounded a bit more like polished, and having been on BBC Introduced from like an early stage and them seeing me grow a bit, that they kind of got on board and we managed to get quite like big gigs quite fast.
Yeah.
That felt like that. We didn't really have to go through the really, really, really early stages of like no one showing up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've done it since. Like you feel like you get a little run of like, oh, there's festivals, and all of a sudden there's this, and then you're like, okay, it's not festivals anymore. Now it's like touring season, and now it's like, okay, now you're gonna play a show to no one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done our fair share of like no one turning up, I think, but it's been good. But yeah, we'll manage to kind of just keep it going. Yeah.
And what's been the biggest show that maybe not even the biggest, but the one where you felt like you connected and it went really well? And then can you tell me about one where you showed up and no one was there?
Yeah. So there was, we did a really, really bad show. Some gigs just don't go the way you want them to go, which is fine. But this is why we rehearse a lot, because, you know, as long as you're putting on a good show, you can just still feel good about it, even if like you feel like no one cared about it. So there was one show that was just like really bad. It was like, at this time, it was like still quite early on, and we didn't really, I think we had a guitarist for a little bit, and then there was a period of time where I didn't have a guitarist for like a couple of months, but we still just kept doing shows. And we did this one show around like Middlesbrough, Stockton area. And just like, we did it as sort of a stripped back set, because we didn't really have the full band, but we're like, let's just do it. Let's just, we'll do it with less instruments. It's going to be fine. And like literally like, I think it was part of a festival, or someone like really persuaded us to do it. Like, come on, let's do this thing. It's going to be really cool. And that was like full on to like no one. It was like two people sat just like drinking and just like shouting on. And there was literally like this man sat there with his dog. And we were just like, and it was just like terrible show. And we were just like, that was so worth it. But it just helped us grow,
Yeah, it's part of your story.
Yeah, I guess so. So we did like a little era of those kind of shows of just like strip back shows with not much going on. And then we got better, we got a guitarist. That's what happens.
And what about your best?
Best show. I don't know. It's really hard to like think about, because there's a few shows I can think of, but just for different reasons. Like sometimes you'll just get a really good crowd. Like we're at Great Escape last week, and we had this one gig on the Saturday, which was just like a really fun crowd. All the industry had gone home, and it was just like, it's just really fun. It was just really good vibes, like full room, good energy. Everyone was up to like have a bit of dance, and I just loved it. I loved it. And Brighton's such a good vibe. I love being in Brighton. That was amazing. And yeah, last year we did, was last year? I can't remember. We did Glastonbury, and that was just like
amazing.
Nice to say that we'd play Glastonbury. It was really good. But that was BBC Introducing as well. They've just like,
they've supported you.
Been great. Yeah, so that was really good. And we got to do that stage, and then also Stromerville stage, which was like right in the like woodlands. And it was just like, it was so good. Like that was like proper like Glastonbury vibes. It was like everyone was sort of like dancing, moving around, and it was just really great. It was like, that felt like Glastonbury, like magic vibes.
Yeah. Back again?
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so too. And what, can you tell me about what a day in the life of an independent artist who is, you know, going at it full time and giving it a good go and touring and performing big, good shows, streaming, pushing stuff out on digital. Like what does a typical day in the life of look like for you?
It's really hard because it's literally completely different every day. I think that's the thing. It's just like, you can't prepare for a day in the life. Do you know what I mean? You just really can't. But I think the common themes for every day is just like constantly thinking about the next thing. You know, if I wake up normally, if I've got a bit more of a, just like don't need to be instantly like at a job or at this or that, I'll normally, if I wake up, I'll just like sit on my phone and be like, what do I have to reply to? What do I have to reply to now?
Yeah.
I'll do like emails, stuff that doesn't bring me loads of joy, you know? Yeah. I'll do like that when I'm just like sat in bed before I get out, because I'm like, oh, if I do that, then you're making a drink, you just have breakfast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, if I don't do it before I get out of bed,
not going to happen.
It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
So I just like normally sit and do all that. Or like be like, well, I'll post something on TikTok now. I'll do this, I'll do that. And then I'll be on my phone before I know it for like an hour before I've even gotten up. Just like sat there. But you're like, oh, I've actually like done stuff. It's a lot of like phone work. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I constantly just look like I love my phone.
Yeah.
And I don't. Like, or that I play like Sims all the time on my phone or something. I'm not. Like it's just, I promise I'm doing stuff. So yeah, it's probably just that, and then it depends if I'm in the studio quite a bit at the minute. So on a good day, I'm gonna go into the studio and just sit and kind of write a lot, or build up songs, and that's really good. But you but it just like absorbs just so much time, because time goes unbelievably fast in the studio for me. So fast. I could spend a week solid in the studio and still feel like it was 2 minutes. Like it just goes so fast. It must be because I'm just so involved in it and so thinking about things or like redoing things.
Is that your happy place, or would you say it's on stage? Because I noticed when you talked about those two, it's like obviously you light up a little bit, and where would you say is the place that you enjoy being the most in the journey?
I don't know. It's kind of like, I like a balance of both. I really do. I think I just couldn't do both all the time, you know? Or like just one of them all the time. Like, I think I need to be like, okay, I'm on tour for a while. And then I'm like, right, I'm in the studio for a while. And then I'm like, okay, I've been in the studio for ages. I'm going to go on tour again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, it's good to be able to do a bit of both. Yeah. To like spread it out. But yeah, I genuinely really love both. I think the thing is with the studio is when I go into the studio, I live really close to the studio I'm working in. So it's like literally a 10-minute drive.
Great.
And yeah, I drive 10 minutes. I'm there. It's all amazing. I go home. And it's just like great. But when you're on tour, it's like you're traveling loads and it's really expensive and it's all these things. And then you get on stage and I'm like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Yeah. And I do love being on tour. I love seeing new places, but it's like, there's so much like, you get so tired and not complaining because I want to be doing it all the time. I love it. But like, there's so much of your day is just not on stage when you're on tour. Yeah. But the moment you're on stage is great. Yeah.
Can we talk about, you talked there about obviously being on tour is brilliant and is something that we spoke about before in terms of, you've been focused on the live side rather than necessarily the social side, although socials is a big part now. Is do you think that it's, how do you think about community when you think about live? Like, do you think that it's the live side that's helped you build your community around you? Or do you think that actually like it's the stuff you've done on socials that's built your community, and then the live stuff is just an add-on that you can foster a deeper connection with your audience?
I think for me it's live.
It is.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of it has been maybe online. Some of it's been like through discovering on like different platforms, different like streaming platforms maybe. But I think most of the people that come and see us or that have found us, I think has been through live.
Wow.
I think it is at the minute, yeah.
Wow. And how do you capture them at your shows? Like, how do you firstly, like understand who they are, and secondly, I guess, make sure they come back?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think a lot of it is just like, I always go and stand at the merch. Like, I always make sure if I finish a show, like, that's not it. Like, I go and I like stand there. And if someone wants to say hello or like find out something else, I'm there and they can just ask me. Do you know what I mean? Rather than being like, who's that? Like, what do I do? Yeah. Because a lot of what we've done is support gigs, like support slots and stuff as well. So especially at support slots. And I think it's important at headlines too, because people are there really to see you. Yeah. But support gigs, like, it's so important to me to stand at the merch at the end and like get that support like face to face. Yeah. Or like have a mailing list, or just like still be active online quite a lot, because I feel like if they do like what they see live and then they follow me and it doesn't really like look like it's actually me, or looks like, oh, I'm not actually doing anything, I feel like they're going to be like, oh, well, I liked it, but I'm not, it doesn't,
it's a disconnect.
I'm not going to give any time to it. It's fine. Yeah. So I think it's like, keeping on top of everything like that. It means that someone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to like get invested in that, or, you know.
You know, the physical, I've always said, is that I'll discover people online and then I connect and become a fan in real life. Yeah. Like that's just been my own personal experience. Like whenever I see an artist live, that's when I just completely buy into who they are and what they're doing. So I can completely, I really understand how that works. One question I had is, if you were to start again today, knowing what we know about socials, knowing maybe what we know about actually a trend towards people wanting to connect in real life again, would you start differently, or would you do exactly the same thing that you've done for the last 4 or 5 years?
I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's some of it that I would do the same, and there's some things that I would do differently. Yeah. You know? I think I would definitely just like build the live scene the way we did, just starting really like open mics to like sort of acoustic gigs, to then getting more band members, like rehearsing loads. Yeah. BBC introducing, like Look and Wear puts on like festival stages at what festival, and like building a team around it. Yeah. People who want to really get like invested in what you're doing, whatever stage of your career that is, and like however long you have them on for, like it's important to make those connections. I would do anything of that differently. I think I would just, if I could know this, and you could never know this at the start, but if I could know to spend more time before I start, then I would have done it. But sometimes you just have to start. Yeah. And I think I would have just maybe like explored more about finding my sound before I just leapt in to just like, but your sound evolves. Yeah. So what I released like on my first EP isn't what's on my last one. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that's just nice to see. But in hindsight, you're obviously like, oh, if I'd had just a year before I'd toured, before anything had came out, to like really think about it, I probably would have done that a bit differently. Yeah. But I could never have known that. And I don't know if everything would have played out the way it has, like the way I wanted it to. So it's just like hindsight. You can drive yourself crazy with it at the same time. I'm like, oh, I wish I'd written that song earlier, and then that would have done more, and then I could be onto this now. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just never, you can't.
I think about it in a similar way, I suppose, like to building you really are building a product and a business. I mean, I know it's quite crude to say that, but basically the thing that I learned about releasing a tech platform, I suppose, is if you're not embarrassed by the first product you put out, you've waited too long. you know,
Yeah, that's probably
because
it.
you've got to get it out there, and then you'll get the feedback from your audience, and then you iterate and you change, and like you said, you evolve as a person too. So then your songs sound different, and so I think it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? Like putting stuff out there into the world, but I think getting it out there is half of the battle.
Yeah, and I think that's like, that's just something that sometimes I've been like good at, and sometimes I've like really struggled with, is like knowing the right time. Because like I know a lot of people say it in this industry as well, like timing is everything, but I really feel like it is. You know, but also like persistence is everything. And even if you're not releasing all the time, like, are you still touring all the time though? Do you still like share what you're doing all the time? Like, are you still writing all the time, you know? But it's, you know, sometimes it's good to take a step back and be like, what am I doing this for? And like, what am I actually saying? And what am I actually making? And do I want to be like someone who just keeps going and keep crashing my head against the wall and just be like, something's going to break. Or am I just going to step back and be like, let me just disassemble the wall. Do you know what I mean? Let me just like, you know, take a minute and be like, actually, this is what I'm going to sound like.
Yeah.
And then you come back so much clearer and like the wall's not there anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to walk around it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's my analogy. It's like, it's going to take a bit longer, but if you know where you're going, you can just walk around it, you know?
You know, I said this earlier on to the Spice Girls and Five manager, Chris. I said that I do believe that if you're putting out great music and you are really creative and, you know, talented and whatever, that it will eventually get through. You know, I do believe that. And I think you do that. I do think that whether it's Bleak Sublime or whatever, you know, the melodies that I have in my head from your catalogue, eventually I think they're going to, you know, completely cut through and you'll get there. So I do believe that.
I hope so.
One last question that I had that I like to ask everyone is, when you started, did you set yourself a goal, milestone, marker of what success would look like? If so, have you got there? And if you have, has it changed? And if you haven't, if you could share what it is and what you're aiming towards.
I just think, even from being like really little, I've just always like had the same goal, and it's just like a big goal, you know. And I feel like I've said it in like every interview. I just really want to like headline Glastonbury. That would be great.
Love it.
It's like not much, you know. I don't ask
just a little goal
for much, you know. That would be nice if anyone could make that happen, you know. It won't be for a very long time. I'm very aware of that, but that's like nothing would ever top that for me, you know. Nothing.
That's beautiful.
That's just like, if I could headline Glastonbury, it's such a prestigious thing, you know. If you're at the point in your career where you can headline Glastonbury, then that just must be the best thing to look out on. Yeah. Just like that feeling, you know. Oh, that would just be amazing. And now I've played it. I just need to work my way up, you know. But yeah, and obviously I haven't done that yet, you know. I haven't hit that yet. And until I do, I just don't think it's ever going to change. I just think everything I do, I'm just like, okay, you just get one step closer, you know. I'm not like obsessing over it, but it's just, I just don't think there would be anywhere else for me to go from that. Not that I'd quit, but it's just like, I can't imagine how good that would feel to be like, right, everything I've done is like led to this moment where I get to be like one of those people who's been even just like had enough of a cultural impact with their music to be put on a stage like that at that moment. Like, wow.
Well, if if Emily Evis or whoever is listening, then please contact Lizzie.
I can't do it now because no one would turn up at me. So,
but they will. Like you said, keep manifesting, and I think that's a beautiful goal to have. You know, I think we don't have big and bold enough goals in general as people. You know, we undersell ourselves. And I once got told that I pitch like a European, like I'm too polite and conservative, and you know, and that's not good. You know, you need to put yourself out there and set those goals. So I think I'm confident you'll get there.
Well, I'm glad you are.
And so where do people find you?
I'm online. I'm very online at the minute. You can tell I'm like yeah, just trying to be online. Yeah, so it's all a lot on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, you know, but if you want to really, I was gonna say feel something, but if you want to just like really just like experience it, then come and see us live, because it's better than through the phone. Like,
agreed.
It is. So.
And do you have any shows coming up? Bearing in mind this is going to go out in July.
July.
So talk to us about end of July, August.
Oh.
Sorry.
We've got a few festivals, so we're going to be doing quite a few festivals over the summer. So there's like, I think towards the end of the summer, I've got them all on my Instagram.
Okay, so check you out online.
Because I don't know it on the top of my head. But yeah, there's quite a few. And a few in August. That's going to be good, you know? And that's the best way. But then we'll also be like touring throughout the rest of the year and into next year. And like new music, that's the most exciting part. Is like working on something for a long time and then finally getting to show people what I've actually been doing. And then I have actually been doing something.
Is that coming out end of summer?
No, probably not.
Okay. Christmas maybe?
Maybe.
Okay,
we'll see.
Very exciting.
I'm taking my time, I think.
You should, yeah.
We're taking our time, I think.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lizzie. Thank you so much for today and for sharing, you know, actually your whole journey. And like I said, I've really enjoyed watching you from the sidelines for the last 5 years. And I'm excited for what the next 5 years has to hold. I'm sure, hopefully we're sat here in 5 years' time going, you remember when we sat down at that podcast and now look at you? That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And for you too, you know, everything's gone. Look at us now.
I know.
Podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Exciting.
Thanks,
Yay.
Lizzie.
Thank you.